Hey there, everybody, and welcome. Today, I'm going to be presenting a sample three-player playthrough of Obsession, 2nd edition. This playthrough is specifically aimed at newcomers to the game who are just learning how to play the base game of Obsession. In this playthrough, I'm going to be working with the core game components only, so if you're not familiar with the upstairs-downstairs expansion and you just want to see how the base game plays, you've come to the right place. If you have not yet learned the rules of the game, I encourage you to first check out my comprehensive Obsession tutorial. I'm going to include a link to it in the show notes for this video. As usual, I'm presenting this tutorial using a program I wrote to play the game. That's going to ensure you won't miss out on any of the action. You'll see everything that's going on up close. But most importantly, it's going to guarantee that you're going to be watching a completely accurate playthrough with no rules mistakes, nothing accidentally skipped or overlooked. If you like what you see, I encourage you to like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, check out the scores of other board gaming videos I've created, not only for Obsession, but for other games as well. In today's sample three-player playthrough, I'm going to be playing for each player, obviously. The blue player named Larry, the red player named Alex, and green named Catherine. Since most of you watching this are probably new to the game, I'm going to try and explain why I'm doing what I'm doing at each step of the way. But that being said, I am going to try and keep this video moving along, so I'm not going to be dwelling too long on each turn. Therefore, I can't guarantee that my playing will be 100% strategically sound. Believe me, it's hard enough playing this game for yourself, let alone trying to keep three players straight. So here we are during setup. As you can see, we're playing core game only, no Wessex, no upstairs, downstairs, no promo. This is going to be a standard length game with a closed courtship, which is what I recommend for most people who are new to Obsession. Let's get underway. All right. My program has randomly assigned the first player token to Catherine, green. Therefore, starting with the second player in turn order, which would be blue, Larry, we're going to be choosing families. Normally I would go with Ponsonby, but I think for a change, I'll choose York. York starts with an extra footman. And by the way, I'm assuming you do know the rules of the game. I am not going to be explaining how the game works in this video. That's what my tutorial video was for. Alex Red will choose Asquith. Asquith has 5 family members as opposed to 4. And then Catherine Cavendish will start with a little extra reputation, starting with 1.4. And here we are with Catherine's first turn. We have a look at the builder's market. We have 2 brushing rooms, 2 fenced paddocks, a bunch of green sporting tiles, and a drawing room. I kind of wish there were more service tiles present. I like to line those service tile special abilities up early on, but this is what we've been dealt, so we've got to deal with it. This is Catherine's starting set of objectives, all tile-based objectives, not particularly easy, although I do see that she's got 2 objectives here that focus on green sporting tiles. So this one requires a kennels and a riding stables. There's the kennels. Oh, a fenced paddock is here as well. This one requires a tennis court, a cricket field, and a croquet lawn. Croquet lawn, tennis court. So I think the builder's market contains 4 of the 6 tiles we're looking for. Okay, now of course that whether or not Catherine can get her hands on all those tiles remains to be seen, but she'll certainly give it her best college try. Let's group these 2 together. And then we have the looking for the cabinet of curiosities. All right, switching to Catherine's hand. And you know what? I'm going to actually make some notes here so I don't go stark raving mad trying to remember what I'm looking for. So here we're looking for a fence paddock, the kennels, riding stables. Not going to be able to fit all this. Tennis, cricket. Well, what is she going to be going after here? There are 2 fence paddocks, and considering that the fence paddock is a prestige rated 1 tile, it's probably going to be in less demand. Therefore, I think I'm going to aim for the croquet lawn first. I'm going to try to pick this up for 300 pounds, which shouldn't be too hard. I'm going to try to take a different approach with each player, or at least try to. So with Catherine, we'll just go the village fair planning approach. What I like most about the private study, aside from the 600 pounds and the 4 reputation that you gain, the fact that it only requires the butler. We need 300 pounds, so we'll invite the patriarch, Earl Paul, and his son, Viscount Stephen Cavendish. The 2 people attending this village fair planning have to be family members, so we couldn't consider Carolyn West or Colonel Dalrymple. For Stephen, we're going to take the 100 pounds. That gets us our 300 pounds, and with that, we'll acquire the croquet lawn. And I think I just saw a monument pop up. Yes, the big game trophy room has shown up in the market. Larry, the blue player, this is his set of objectives: 2 servant objectives, 2 tile-based objectives, and the wealth bonus, brushing room and barn. So we know what Larry's going after. He's going to go after one of those 2 brushing room tiles. English garden. Okay. So Larry's also looking for the barn and the English garden. So we'll avoid the private study for Larry, and instead we'll go to the main gazebo for a prestige guest. And we just need to ensure we have 100 pounds. We'll invite Reginald Hopkins, who doesn't require service. And I think I'll invite Beatrice for the screen casual guest. There's our 100 pounds. So that's the prestige guest from the main gazebo. Not an easy one to tackle, though worth 5 victory points. Prestige rated 6. And Albert Marquess of Thornhill is one of the 2 male guests in the game that require a butler and a valet. For Beatrice, we're choosing between Alice Bingley and Thomas Macmillan. Alice provides 1 reputation. No, I'm sorry. Alice provides a casual guest. Thomas Macmillan provides 200 pounds. I'm going to go with the show me the money guest. So we're going to select Thomas. Alice, we'll see you another time. With the 100 pounds, we are acquiring one of the 2 brushing room tiles. Moving on to Alex, the red player. This is what she has. So she's looking for a flower room, a French garden. I'm going to put the word French in parentheses because the French garden would be ideal, but the English garden would work as well. Stateroom. She will start in the front parlor playing whist with two ladies. We'll invite Patricia, the mother, along with her sister-in-law, Maud. We're playing for 3 reputation, a screen casual invite, a 4th reputation for Maud, plus £100. We'll only end up with £100. I wasn't focusing on what tile we were looking for. None of the tiles that Red wants is in the market, so Red will go after this other brushing room, using the £100 from Maud. Gets us to 1.5. Invite 2 casual guests. We have a cad, Bentley Churchill, and Miss Diane Blowers. Blowers? We'll go with Blowers. I think I read that Blowers was a name from the family of Dan Halligan, the designer of the game. So I suppose we can ask Dan how that should be pronounced. But we'll go with Diane Blowers, and I think we'll definitely choose Diane over the cad. Although he does provide £300, but which wouldn't be bad except for the fact that we've already gotten our reputation up to 1.5. I think I prefer to stick with Diane here. Alex, with her £100, will choose the other brushing room. And wow, there's the flower room that just showed up. Okay, she has her eyes on that. Moving on to round 2. So the big game trophy room is sitting out here, a cost of £800. By the way, you should know that my program does play strictly by the rules when it comes to the monuments. So it chooses randomly between the sculpture garden and the garden maze. And then, because this is a 3-player game, it includes 3 other randomly drawn monuments for this game. So there will be a total of 4 monuments. Obviously, one of the 3 was the big game trophy room. Catherine, I guess we'll go after the fence paddock this time. That's going to be £200. If she flips the bowling green, then the -3 turns into 2, and she'll suddenly have +1 in the scoring column, which would probably give her a slight lead there for the courtship. Let's host a game of bowls for £300. More than enough to pay for the fence paddock. We have to invite 2 gentry. We'll invite the daughter Tara, along with Colonel Dalrymple, who provides a lovely 2 reputation, which should get us into family reputation 2 territory. That's the guest courtesy of Tara. 0 victory points. Anytime you get a casual guest with 0 victory points, you really shouldn't complain, because the average victory point value of a casual guest, I don't know about base game only, when you're playing with all the cards from all the expansions, it's probably about a quarter to a half a negative point on average. I'm happy anytime I can get 0 more points on a casual guest. And she's nice because just for the cost of a lady's maid, she provides 2 reputation. Charlotte Woods. We're taking one of the 2 fence paddocks. Larry's second turn. Catherine taking one of the 2 fence paddocks, the market didn't shift, so the big game trophy room is still at £800, but Larry has his eye on that. He hasn't yet played his father card, George, so if he plays bowling green with George and Thomas McMillan over here That's 400 plus 300, that's 700 pounds. But of course, he doesn't have any reputation to trade away for that extra 100 pounds. Tennis court will be a good choice as a level 2 tile, though he's not close to reputation 2 yet. He doesn't have 2 ladies, so we can't play whist. Since we can't collect quite enough money yet for the trophy room, let's go to the private study instead. We'll invite George for the money. And we'll take Alan for his 1 reputation, just to move up a little bit. That gets us to 1.2 and 200 pounds. The fence paddock actually wouldn't be a bad choice here. Even though it's a PR1 tile, it does capitalize on the fact that Larry started with 2 footmen. But chances are he's going to want to go to the bowling green anyway. And since he has his eye on that big game trophy room, I think he's going to pocket the 200. So we're going to cancel and not take a tile. Alex. Well, the advantage Alex has currently of not going to the private study when her 2 opponents did is the fact that she holds the majority in essentials. She's got a +3 because everybody else has flipped their tile, and when you flip the private study, it goes from 3 victory points to 0. She's also ahead in prestige. That's by +4. She's deciding between the gazebo and the bowling green here. Now, if she were to buy a tile, what would she go after? Probably the tennis court, given that it's a PR2 tile and she's 1 step away from reputation 2. For that, she needs 400 pounds. So therefore, let's take her to the bowling green. That's 300 pounds. We need another 100 pounds, so we'll invite Daniel, Earl of Asquith, for his 200 pounds. And actually, if his wife is looking the other way, we'll invite Diane Blowers for her casual guest and her additional 1 reputation. That gets our family reputation up to 2, and we'll be ready for that tennis court. And hopefully the casual guest won't be negative. So we're at 2.1. It's not negative. It is Catherine Eden, a very nice choice. 1 reputation, 100 pounds, 0 victory points. Requires a lady's maid. With her 500 pounds, she is going to acquire the tennis court. Round 3, this is a village fair round, so Catherine gets her 300 pounds and 2 reputation. So she's at 2.3 and 400, and now she's wondering if she should go after the big game trophy room or should she stick with her plan and go after the kennels. There are 2 tennis courts in the game. Of course, there's no guarantee that the other tennis court is going to show up. Tennis court, croquet lawn. Well, the kennels went with this objective. And she already has the fence paddock. The kennels would cost her 400 pounds, which she has on hand. So I think, given that she's got a handful of ladies here, whist makes the most sense. And we'll invite Charlotte Woods. And therefore, we don't have a second ladies' maid, so we have to invite Evelyn, the mom, for the screen casual guest. At 3.3 reputation, and it's only round 3, she's going to draw 2 casual guests. We've got Elizabeth Jones, an adventurous, prestige guest, but -2 reputation. Though Catherine can afford it, and getting those prestige guests early is certainly nice. She hasn't gotten her first yet. She hasn't gone to the main gazebo. Otherwise, it's Richard Branagh, 1 reputation, 1 casual guest. We'll take Elizabeth and be a little daring here. And with our 400 pounds, we're going to acquire the Hillside Kennels. So currently, Catherine is tied in prestige, but behind everywhere else. Larry's up next. Larry did go with the Village Fair planning, so he's also going to get the Village Fair bump, which is going to get him what he needs to go after that big game trophy room, which now costs 600 pounds. So he's got 500 of that. He's going to play his Bowling Green. He'll invite Thomas McMillan for 200 additional pounds. And he's only got 1 lady, but that probably doesn't make much of a difference at this point. He has the brushing room. He's got the footman. Might as well go here and use it on Charles Wadsworth. That'll get another reputation and a casual guest. We invited Walter Tuttle, not a great guy, a cad, 100 pounds, -1 reputation, -1 victory point. I don't know that we'll ever get a chance to use him. So for the 600 pounds, we'll take the big game trophy room, and that'll leave 400 in our pocket. So Larry is ahead, obviously, in sporting now, and estate. Oh, and there's the cricket field for Catherine. Oh, I didn't even see that. Another monument has shown up, the garden maze. Alex's turn, last turn before the courtship. Alex is tied in service and prestige, ahead in essentials. She wants the flower room. 500 pounds. She needs another 400, which means she would be going to the tennis court. Needs 2 gentry. Oh, we don't have our footman. Let's see. We're at 2.1. She has a valet. She can invite Major Hawes. That will offset some of the reputational loss. We could invite Charles for his reputation, or Zachary L for 100. How much do we need again for that flower room? 500 pounds. So that's 300. We have to go with Zachary for the 100. Shame that we're going to drop down to reputation 1, but hopefully we'll make up for that sooner rather than later. Special action, obviously, to get access to our footman. Takes us back to 1.3, but as I said, William Hawes will get us back to 1.5. Got the 500 pounds she needs. She is going to acquire the flower room. Cabinet of Curiosities is there. And another monument comes out. 3 monuments. Wow, that's nuts. Well, this is going to take us into the courtship. And looks like Alex is ahead in essentials, and Larry was the one that was ahead in estate. And, well, he was ahead in estate. He's clearly ahead in sporting because he picked up the trophy room. Not sure where Catherine lies at this point, but let's just find out. It's essentials. So Alex gets it. 3-0. She gets a 5-point victory card. I think we'll take the additional woman for now. So we'll take Elizabeth for her prestige guest. And now everybody has to discard one objective. Well, Larry has the brushing room, so it's unlikely he's going to go after valets, because he could just go after footmen. So I think he's going to get rid of this objective. And then Alex, probably between service and estate, and again, not much in the way of service tiles. Of course, there is the largest wine cellar. It's not a service tile, but it is a service column tile. But I think she's going to probably be stronger in estate, so we'll dump the service. And then finally, Catherine really hasn't seen any sign of anything here, so she'll get rid of the Epicurean group. And now it's round 5. First player marker rotates counterclockwise. So now Alex, who was previously last in turn order, will be first in turn order. She is at reputation 1.5. Forced to either go to the main gazebo. Well, that's probably the best choice, but of course she would have to restore the footman. She'll invite Elizabeth for her 2 reputation and 2nd prestige guest. And we'll invite Charles for his reputation, so that'll at least offset the 3 that we're about to spend for the footman. And that will keep Alex at 1.5, but she's got to make some more progress as far as reputation is concerned. She, among all the other players, has got 2 nice PR2 tiles here waiting for her. Continuing. So the average prestige guest, in contrast to the average casual guest, I'm guessing probably delivers around +2 or 3 victory points on average. We want the 1 reputation from Charles in order to keep our reputation at 1.5. Well, we got a PR6 guest. This is the female equivalent to Albert, Marquess of Thornhill. She requires the housekeeper in addition to the lady's maid, and provides the same reward, 4 reputation and a victory point card. We won't be using her anytime soon. Very nice guest, Catherine Viscountess Abernathy, 2 reputation, PR3, but again, with Alex at 1.5, it's going to be a bit before she can make use of her. And clearly she is in need of ladies' maids. Obviously she had no money to make a purchase, so we're moving on. Catherine really has no choice but to pass. She's got 2 guests in her hand, both of whom require a lady's maid. So clearly Catherine's going to pass here. She does not have a brushing room. So she will definitely take a lady's maid. Yeah, she has 5 women in her guest and 3 men. So that lady's maid makes more sense. And she'll take a 2nd footman. both of whom go into expended service with the butler. She made no money, so she's not acquiring anything either. Larry gets a free reputation thanks to the big game trophy room, and he's coming into round 5 with 400 pounds and wondering if he should think about the garden maze, which would cost 800 pounds. I don't think he should think about it. His valet and his 2 footmen are in servants' quarters currently. I think he's going to have to pass. So he's looking at mostly men here. He's got a full hand of men with only the mom and the daughter Marianne. So he'll hire 2, capitalize on his brushing room and take a footman. And although this may seem silly to take a lady's maid when he doesn't have any guests, that probably will come back to haunt him. I think he's going to take the lady's maid and figure that he's going to invite a lot more, many more guests into his hand and hopefully make use of that second lady's maid at some point. He's got plenty of male coverage. So he's got 400 pounds. He could acquire the drawing room, PR3 tile. He's at reputation 2. But given the fact that he's got his big game trophy room, he figures he can make it to family reputation 3 in about 2 turns or so. Especially if he finally plays whist with the 2 women that he does have. So he'll take the drawing room. Moving into round 6. This is the objective draw. Alex picks up the 3 victory points per monument. She really hasn't been looking at monuments so far. And yeah, she was forced to pass as well at this point. She does have a brushing room, so she'll hire another footman and the last remaining lady's maid. Has no money, can't acquire. That's 2 turns in a row for her. And she's still in round 6 at reputation 1, which is not good. And she can't say that she doesn't have ladies in her hand. She may have to go back to the front parlor sooner rather than later. Catherine picks up a prestige tile and another green heavy objective requires the billiards room, the kennels, and the cabinet of curiosities, which is sitting right there. 500 pounds. She's hurting for a prestige guest. She hasn't gone to the gazebo yet. But as badly as she wants that, she wants to grab that cabinet of curiosities. She has 2 objective cards that focus on the cabinet of curiosities. So she's at a family reputation of 3, which means she is going to go to the Hillside Kennels on a pheasant hunt with 3 gentry. And how much do we need? We need 500 pounds, so that's 300. We need 200 more. We'll invite Earl Paul for his 200, so that takes care of the money. We'll invite Colonel Dalrymple for his 2 reputation. And we have the ladies' maid, so we'll invite Charlotte Woods for her 2 reputation. That will get us to family reputation 4. Reputation and money in 1 turn, you can't complain. Gets her to 4.2. She will take the Cabinet of Curiosities. Oh my gosh, and the last monument, 4 monuments are out, all 4 of them. 3 of them in the builder's market at once. That's crazy. Absolutely unheard of. And there's a servants' hall that's shown up in the reserve. Larry picks up another servant objective. Actually, he has no need for this because somebody just took that last lady's maid, so there are no more ladies' maids available. And still no sign of the barn. He has no PR2 tile to move to. He could go for reputation and just get rid of all of his women at once. Or does he go after that garden maze? Costing 600. That's 200. 200 from George. As much as he'd like to go to the front parlor and play that tile, how do you pass on 2 reputation per turn from the big game trophy room and the garden maze? So he'll go back to the bowling green. He'll invite George. That gets him to 400. How much did he need? He needs 600. He needs another 2. He has Thomas McMillan over here, who's turned out to be a terrific choice for him. And that will pay for it. Garden maze it is. 2 monuments for Larry. Round 7. Alex sitting in the doldrums here. She has to play the front parlor again. Play casino this time with 3 ladies. She'll invite Elizabeth Fairchild. We'll invite Maud. And we'll invite Patricia. She's not going to be able to afford a purchase, but she will make up for badly needed reputation. She'll get a casual guest from Patricia and a prestige guest from Elizabeth, and a total of 5 reputation, which will get her to 2.5. So we got Margaret Bisbane as the invite from Elizabeth. 2 victory points, PR4. We're drawing 2 casual guests thanks to the mom. We have Richard Beeston and Joanna Gamble. Our first American heiress. That would probably be a mistake for Alex, considering that her reputation is nowhere near as high as everybody else. However, that 400 pounds would look really nice. Richard's nothing to scoff at. Probably a mistake, but she'll opt for Joanna Gamble. That could be a mistake, especially since she's so heavy in as far as ladies are concerned. She can't afford a purchase. She'll cancel. That's 3 turns in a row that she hasn't acquired a tile. This is, things are not looking up for Alex. She's not making good choices here, thanks to me. Catherine. So Catherine wants this cricket field for 500 pounds. She's got 0. She's at reputation 4. Probably should go to the croquet lawn, but the fox hunt for 400 pounds is a lot more attractive. Catherine's also the one who's doesn't have any prestige guests because she hasn't gone to the main gazebo yet. I think it's probably high time that we go there. She's just a little concerned that somebody else is going to pick up that cricket field. We'll go to the main gazebo. I guess we'll invite, let's see, can we counter Elizabeth's 2 reputation loss? If we invite son Stephen, that'll help offset some of it. She'll still be at a family reputation of 4. So we'll continue with that. Taking the reputation from Stephen. That drops us down 1 notch. So we invite 2 prestige guests, 1 thanks to the gazebo and 1 thanks to Elizabeth Jones. So we have Madeline, Countess of Knollwood, very nice, and a PR6, which we won't be using for a while, but Catherine will be able to tap into quite soon. So Catherine's just hoping at this point that the cricket field doesn't go anywhere and that the largest wine cellar will be the main attraction. Larry gets 2 free reputation in round 7. Chance for a 3rd monument, which would be good and bad. I tell you, the disadvantage of going after monuments when there's so many is that you're not making progress. You have no path. You're stuck with the same old tiles. So yes, he's got the drawing room that he can go to sooner rather than later. Other than that, he's got nothing. He really has to activate his front parlor too. I think that's what he's going to do. And of course, he needs 2 ladies, so he doesn't have a choice. So he's looking at an unscreened casual guest, a screened casual guest, and 3 reputation. Of course, he's not hurting for reputation with all these monuments. So we've got Elizabeth Perkins. Gossip, -3 victory points with an attack. And when I'm playing by myself this way, I tend to shy away from cards like this, and I shy away from the Servants' Hall because it's like picking on yourself. So I'm wondering if we should just use the dismiss favor for the mom here and get rid of Elizabeth right off the bat. I think we will. And I'll sort of make a gentleman's agreement with everybody else to not take the Servants' Hall. So that ends Larry's turn, and with that, we're heading into round 8, which is our next courtship. Where does everybody stand? Larry's got a 40% chance. Alex has her 20% chance and a tie. And Catherine, no chance at all. Oh, prestige. It's a state. Who's that? Larry? Larry is ahead in estate because of the garden maze. So that does pay off for him. He gets 5 victory points. And I think he needs... he needs prestige guests as well. So he's going to go with Elizabeth Fairchild. We need to discard an objective. He was going to discard the 3 ladies' maids. Can't possibly fulfill that. Alex, I guess we'll get rid of essentials, since she only has the private study. And finally, Catherine, none of the libraries have come out. I guess we'll get rid of literature. All right, Village Fair, round 9. Larry is the start player this time. He gets his 2 reputation and is now at a family reputation of 4. Well, 600 pounds. This could be a mistake. He's got 300. He's halfway there. He's not going to have any. Where's the drawing room going to go? The drawing room flips and invites 4 gentry for the same 3 reputation. He'll invite Alan Waters for the 100 pounds. Reginald Hopkins. I guess since we're making so much reputation, he can afford to play Walter Tuttle for his 100 pounds. That's our 3 gentry. And famous last words, this could be a mistake, Larry. But I think it's got to stop here. We cannot even think about going after the Manor Gargoyles. That would be crazy. But we've got to get other tiles into our hand. And some guests. We have no guests. But he's certainly, reputation's not going to be a problem for him. He'll be a level 5 next turn. Alex's turn. Meanwhile, she needs something to happen as well. She'll activate her flower room for the prestige guest. She'd love to invite Joanna Gamble, but she can't afford the loss of the 2 reputation. And although she could break even and invite Major Hawes. We haven't played Catherine yet, have we? 100 pounds and 1 reputation. Let's invite her. And we need 2 ladies, so let's invite Eleanor. The mom is out of play. We played her last turn with Maud. Would have vastly preferred the screen guest rather than the unscreened guest. This is going to get us 1 reputation from Catherine, which gets us to a family reputation of 3 finally. She'll have 200 pounds, which she won't be able to afford much. But she sees the French Garden is in the distance. It'll be out of reach for a while. But again, the Manor Gargoyles gets everybody's eye, so I don't think she has to worry about losing the French Garden right away. West Saloon is a nice tile as well. She'll continue. Gets the family reputation of 3. She invites her casual guest, which is harmless. She gets Mary Russell, which is a great choice, and the prestige guest, John Lord Brooks. Excellent choice. She will pocket the 200 pounds and save that for the French Garden. Moving on to Catherine. Village Fair bonus. So what's Catherine looking for here? Oh, the cricket field. But still no tennis court. Oh, there's the riding stables. I don't think she has to worry about that going anywhere anytime soon because it's a PR1 tile. I don't think anybody's going to be going after that. She's 3 steps away from being able to activate her Cabinet of Curiosities. And then, of course, there's the Manor Gargoyles, which costs 800. And she almost feels it's incumbent on her to keep Larry from picking it up. even though she knows that Larry must know that it would be a mistake. I think she's going to go for that Manor Gargoyles or the cricket field. Hard to say. But that means she's going to play the fox hunt. And I think it's going to be all ladies. An all ladies fox hunt. 800 pounds invites a nice casual guest, Theodore Lodge, harmless, and a PR5, Kenneth Viscount Ashwood, very attractive. And for the mom, we're going to draw 2, because I don't think we have any. Oh, well, we do have Elizabeth Jones we can dismiss. I think we will. Let's just get rid of her and not have to worry. She needs 400 here. This would be silly not to take the cricket field. What do I do? Cricket field or Manor Gargoyles? Well, I've kind of been making mistakes for everybody else, so let's possibly make a mistake here and go with the Manor Gargoyles. She may be risking the cricket field, because if somebody picks it up, there's not another cricket field in the game. Oh, a tennis court just showed up. She's happy about that. Round 10, Larry gets all of that reputation and is now at a family reputation of 5. But he's got a really thin deck, and it's probably time to pass. Though he could squeeze in the main gazebo, because he's got a bunch of he's got mostly all of his servants. That gets him a casual guest screen. This could be a mistake too, just reusing this tile. He's not going to be making much money on this turn. By inviting Elizabeth, he'll get a prestige guest, and we're getting a casual guest unscreened from Charles here. Not making any money on this deal, but he'll have plenty of reputation to cash in for money soon enough. Not happy about that. Margaret Stoll, she's pretty much a waste with her minus 200 pounds. Count Dmitry Konstantinov, sort of like another version of Istvan Hoyos, inviting a casual and a prestige. And this is our screen casual guest. We've got James Hereford, Scoundrel, versus Elizabeth Viscountess Peel. Can't pass up Elizabeth Peel. Take her. Moving on to Alex. 3.1. She wants the French Garden. She's not looking at the cricket field. 800 pounds. And virtually unplayable for her until she gets to the national holiday. She's got so many women in her hand, I think she's going to replay the flower room, play the backside of it. She has to invite 3 ladies. We'll invite Joanna Gamble for her money, probably for the last time. I think it's time we get rid of her. That's going to be minus 2. Where can we cancel that? Carolyn Abernathy, positive 2. That nets out the reputation loss. Oh, she doesn't have a third lady, does she? She does, but they all require ladies' maids. She cannot afford to spend reputation. All right, we need another plan. It's not going to work. She's probably looking at replaying the tennis court. This is sad. This is very sad. All right, back to Joanna Gamble. and Carolyn Abernathy again. But that brings in 800 pounds. No change in reputation, sadly. But she'll have enough to afford the French Garden. Which she's probably going to use when it's time for the national holiday. Where are we relative to the national holiday? It's 4 rounds away. Oh, it's telling me right there, national holiday in 4 rounds. French Garden it is. Catherine's turn. She gets a free reputation for the Manor Gargoyles. She probably has to pass here. She doesn't have the brushing room, so she can't come up with 2 ballots. Doesn't have any service objectives. Therefore, I'm wondering if we should take the cash. Let's pass, and I think we'll take the 200 pounds. Although, she's got 1 valet, no brushing room. She's got 2 guests there that require valets, 3 guests that require valets. I think she has to take the valets, as much as she'd like the 200 pounds. Going into round 11, Builder's Holiday. Very little cash to go around. I rarely have ever taken advantage of the Builder's Holiday, it seems. I think there should be a 100-pound discount on the Builder's Holiday. I mean, what good is a holiday if you don't get a discount? Larry's playing the same old hits here. He is at reputation 6, so we can play Albert of Thornhill. What if we go back to the Bowling Green and have him be joined by Mrs. Peel? So we'll sort of have a little Avengers reunion here. And we're getting our other lady's maid into 2 footmen next turn, so that's good. We're going to get plenty of reputation, but no money. Let's see, this is going to get us 6 reputation. That'll get us to 7-3. I could probably afford to cash 2 of that for 100. That'll get me to 7-1 with room to spare for the 3 reputation coming in the next round. He's at 7. 300 pounds. I guess he should give up on the barn. That's never going to show up. And no sign of the English Garden either. He can't really afford anything of any value. So he has to cancel here. Not make a purchase. Alex? Wow, I guess she's going back to the tennis court. This is she and Larry. This is terrible. This is absolutely terrible that they're playing the same old. This tennis court needs to be repaved and the net has to be repaired. She needs reputation, which means major Haws and a lady who gives us reputation. That would be Mary Russell. And we're looking at a ladies' play next turn. So with her 700 pounds, she's at 3 reputation. Probably the green room would make sense for her. At least it would give her something else to play. And it's good for 3 points. And it focuses on the fact that she's got a lot of ladies in her hand. Green room it is. And she's got 200 pounds, but she can't really make another purchase, so she'll stop. Servant's quarters has shown up in the reserve. It's a little late in round 11. Catherine's turn before the courtship. She gets to 4.5. National holidays in 3 rounds. She really has no place to go for the national holiday. So it really is time for her to grab that cricket field. She's got the men she needs for it. She too is going to reuse the hillside kennels. Fort Gentry fox hunt, and it's going to be all ladies again. Let's see. Madeline. Carolyn West. Or Charlotte Woods, I think. She's got plenty of money to pay for the... Well, what does she need for that cricket field? 400 pounds. Yeah, that'll come from the hillside kennels. She has the extra ladies maid. Maybe we should invite Carolyn West. And then Lady Evelyn. We'll save her for a possible admirer bonus at some point. We'll have Lady Evelyn join us. Who's out here? The father? Earl Paul. I think this looks pretty good. We invite Thomas Earl of Kellynch. Kellynch? I don't know how to pronounce that. Kellynch. Draw 2 casual. We have no dismissals. No. So we have Charles Viscount Walmy, -1 victory points, versus Thomas Ralph, 0 with 1 reputation and 100 pounds. I'll take that. And we're going to acquire the cricket field. And stop there. Although we could have gotten the paddock. I think that's probably only 100 pounds. We probably should have just grabbed that. Oh well, we have time. Let me update this here. So we still need the fence paddock. We have the kennels. We don't have the stables yet. That hasn't shown up. Or has it? We have the cricket field. The tennis court is out there. The riding stables is there. She already owns the fence paddock, so it's the riding stables she needs. It's hard to keep this straight. Okay. How much is that riding stables? 100 pounds. Okay. She could have grabbed it. She didn't. But we'll get it another turn. Although the 100 pounds might come in handy to pick up the tennis court. Currently costs 500 pounds. It'll cost 400 before you know it. Okay, going into the 3rd courtship. A state again. I think that was... Oh, it's a tie between Larry and Alex. That was Alex's baby. Or that was Larry's baby. Alex is caught up. Larry has 7 and 2 is 9. The French Garden is what did it. 4 plus 3 plus 2 is 9. So nobody gets a Fairchild this turn. Larry got a 5-point victory card. Has to discard an objective. I think can easily get this one fulfilled. I don't know, the barn. I think we're going to give up on this. Alex. She clearly is not going to have any monuments, so we're getting rid of that. And Catherine has the Cabinet of Curiosity. She's good here. Still looking for a billiards room for this. But she's looking good here and here. I think we'll get rid of Prestige. Last season, Catherine advances to 5.3. She has the £100 she needs for the riding stables, but I think she wants to go after the tennis court first. She's got a whole slew of servants here. And since her national holiday tile is the cricket field, national holidays next round, but she could just as easily have her national holiday this round because she's got all the men and she's got all the servants. I think that's what she's going to do. We're going to go to the cricket field and we're going to sort from best to worst. Can't quite go with this fellow yet, the Duke of Longford, but we can invite Kenneth. We can invite Thomas. Thomas Ralphs. We only have one valet left. I think it's going to be Colonel Dalrymple. Thomas Lodge doesn't require a servant, so he's easy. And we'll go with Stephen. Do we need his reputation or his money? We're getting 500 from the cricket field. We need his reputation more than his money, so we'll take that for reputation. Wow, that's quite a wad there. Ooh, not happy about that pickup. Who was that? Agnes Harpstead. But we picked up Lord Marshfield. Theodore Lord Marshfield requires 2 servants. With her £1,300, she acquires the tennis court, leaving £800 to go. This could have been a builder's holiday for her. She could have used it. Now all of her servants are pretty much gone. Well, she's got a footman and 2 ladies' maids, and she doesn't really need ladies' maids. I don't know if she's going to pass next turn or what. But she's looking good. Larry is at 7.4 and has to pass. So he's going to collect 3 reputation next turn. So we're definitely going to take 2 of that and for £100. And if he passes, what is he going to pass for? Oh, he has that. He has that objective. He needs a footman. So he's going to pass. Hire 2. Take 2 footmen. And with the £400, he needs a place to go for the national holiday. He can definitely afford to trade in for another £100 here. And with that 500, he will take the West Saloon. Perfect tile for the national holiday. And then finally, Alex, who's going to the French Garden for the national holiday, going to require 6 gentry. I think she's going to have to pass. She needs her lady's maid. Yeah, I'm going to pass right before the national holiday, which is pretty typical. She has really no need for servants that are. She could probably use a lady's maid, but there are none. So I think she's either going to take 200, or should we refresh and hope for the stateroom? So we've got these two. So she's got this covered. She has that covered. We just don't have the stateroom. I think for now we'll take the 200 pounds. And with her 400 pounds, we're good with the French Guard for the national holiday. I think she's going to save the 400 pounds and decide what she's going to do with it the next turn. Round 14. National holiday? Catherine's at reputation 6. She's already had her national holiday. But she can play the Cabinet of Curiosities and get it into 7 territory. And now she's at 6, so she can invite the Duke of Longford for his VP card and 600 pounds. And she can get the Admirer bonus from Tara, which means she should probably cash out some, because this is going to be 6, 8 reputation, which would get her to 7-5. Oh, wait a second. We don't have the Duke covered service-wise. We got to get a valet. That's what she's still fine. She'll end up at 7 range before she knows it. So she's about to gain 6 reputation, which will get her. No, I take that back. She's collecting 2 plus 6, 8 reputation. That's going to get her to 7.2. She invites Charles Hobart. Minus 1 point. Not terribly happy. 1,400 pounds to spare. Reinhardt Suite or the Great Hall. Well, she's not going to have the guests in hand for a Great Hall unless she passes, and it's one more round after this. So I think for her last round of play, she's going to use the Lionheart Suite. Fires at 7-3. This is his national holiday with the West Saloon. He doesn't have his butler available. So we'll refresh the butler. Put him on the West Saloon. So that rules out inviting him. So we'll invite Count Dimitri, Elizabeth Peel. Let's get Marianne over here for the Admire bonus before I forget. Invite Beatrice. We'll invite George for his money. That's 5 guests. Reginald Hopkins for £100. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guests. I think we're going to get rid of Walter Tuttle. But we have to get rid of Stowell before Tuttle. Let's invite Thomas McMillan. I think we're good here. Bunch of invites. That's good. 0 points. Beatrice, Countess of Rochdale. Frances Trotwood, always a great guest. And Anne-Marie, Countess de Vitry. With the we're going to use the dismiss favor. Let's make sure it was it Madeline Stowell? Yeah, she's -2, so we're going to get rid of her. He's got 500 to spend. He had the wealth bonus. I wonder if we should just pocket it. Yeah, I don't think anything else is going to make up for that. Because that's 10 points there. So let's hold on to the 500 and plan to make 700 next round somehow. Let's see, we're at 7-4. So I think I need to cash some of this out. Definitely that. And we can definitely afford to take another 100. Because we'll get 3 reputation next turn and be at 7-3. I could even take another 100 and get to 7.1. Okay. 1200 is looking mighty easy for him. So he's going to pass, or not pass, but just not acquire. Yeah, that was a nice national holiday for him. Now it's Alex's national holiday. She's going to the French Garden. 6 gentry. She is set. Look at her. Still at reputation 3. Oh my gosh, Alex, what are we going to do with you? She's got all of her servants, so we're inviting Mary Countess Coventry. We can invite you. We can invite John Ward Brooks. We're out of ladies' maids. But you actually might be a better choice. We're about to get 2 prestige guests here. We're going to get 4 reputation here. I'm debating, although the prestige guest is might be more points, possibly. I'm thinking maybe not so much you, maybe you. I'm not sure. I'll come back to that in a second. Definitely we want the daughter. Is she available? Yes, she is somewhere. For the admirer bonus. We need to get rid of Joanna Gamble. So we need the mom. Where are you? Here you are. So that's 5 of the 6. We have a footman available and a butler. I'm tempted to take Daniel. Although, maybe we should just take Joanna. This is where I need to figure out the reputation. So she's currently at 3-4. 4? Nope, not 6. That's a prestige. I always get that mixed up. So that's 2 prestige guests there, a 3rd prestige guest there, 4 reputation, 6 reputation, 8 reputation. And this will be a dismiss of Joanne Gamble. So 8 reputation gets us to 5.2. If we use Margaret Bisbane instead, we're going to be 2 reputations short, and we'll be at 4. So we definitely want to use Carolyn here. I think we're all set. Gets to reputation 5. Invites that's a harmless guest. And that's a nice guest, but we can't make use of her, unfortunately. One turn too late. We could have used her this turn. We're dismissing here. We have more guests coming in. The other 2 prestige guests for the French Garden. We have Regina Washburn and Major Anthony Cole. Excellent. 5 points right there. Now we're doing the dismiss favor. And that's going to be Joanna Gamble. And we have 700 pounds. Is it worth it to get the Heritage Guest Suite? We're giving up a point by spending 300 pounds. Who do we have to double all favors with? Two casual guests, that would be not good. Here we get 2 more reputation and 200 pounds. The 2 reputation doesn't really help. The 200 pounds is only worth 1 point. For reputation. Heritage Guest Suite needs a footman, which we have, but we wouldn't have a footman. We won't have a guest. We won't have a. We'd have to refresh a servant for him. So we'd only get a net of 1 reputation, which doesn't help. What's the Heritage Guest Suite worth? It's only worth 1 point. Well, it's worth 2 points when we flip it. So this is basically 2 points. If we hold on to the 300 pounds, we get 1 point. I guess it's worth it. I guess it's worth it for 1 point. And the barn shows up. Who wanted the barn? I don't even remember. Round 15. Catherine's at 7.3. Oh, she was going to activate the Lionheart Suite. So this is a really special tile. You draw a prestige guest to stay in the suite. You don't have to provide service. The butler provides all the service. You double all the favors. So basically, it's luck of the draw. Are we going to get a good guest or a good prestige guest or a bad? I mean, there are no bad prestige guests, but certainly there are some better than others. Let's see what we get. Oh, not bad at all. 2 VP cards and 6 reputation. So we're about to gain 6 reputation, so we definitely want 100 pounds. And another 100 pounds. And another 100 pounds. And another 100 pounds. Although that's an odd amount, so it's not going to help us. But that'll still get us back to a family reputation of 7. Good way to end the game. Picked up 9 points worth of VP cards there. And I don't think there's a purchase here that's going to help. Oh, yes, we need the writing stables. So we needed that odd amount of money. Writing stables. Whoa, don't want to forget that. That would have been a foolish mistake. All right. I think that takes care of Catherine. Her game's over, except for discarding a objective. Larry at 7.1. Boy, he's got a lot of servants. Can he possibly do the West Saloon again? He wanted 10 points from his wealth bonus, which means he'd have to play the Bowling Green and get some cash. Well, the cash is not a problem, but could he play this? Oh, that's 8 gentry. He doesn't have 8 cards. I guess it's the Bowling Green again. Be nice to invite this fella. But we can invite Anne Marie for sure. I think it's worth it to invite him. He's probably worth more than the cash. Once we get a low VP card, we need to get the butler. So 4 reputation, a VP card, and 400 pounds gets me the wealth bonus and gets me a 7.1. Gets me a 7.2. So I can't afford another 100 pounds. I think we're done. Never got the English garden, never got the barn. Well, yeah, he was the one that wanted the barn, but we got rid of that objective, unfortunately, so that's gone. So he's just going to save that 1,400 for the cash out? For the points? And Alex's last turn. Alex finally made it to reputation 5. She doesn't really have the servants to do anything here. Oh, she wanted to do the Heritage Guest Suite. That's what her final play was. So now the question is, who's the best guest? Is it this fella? For reputation, we have to refresh. We have to pay 3 to refresh, but it gets us another point from flipping the tile. So we refresh the valet, put it on here. The 2 reputation will get us back to family reputation of 5, which is not a great way to finish, but it's better than Better than 4, I guess, is the only thing we could say for it. So the extra reputation, the only thing we're doing this for is the fact that we're flipping the Heritage Guest Suite and getting an extra point out of it. And I guess we can afford another £100, but there's no point. It's an odd amount. And there's no tile that we can afford that provides front side victory points. I mean, there are. Is this barn? Barn costs £200 and provides 2 points. That's worth it. That's pretty much the game. We're going into the final courtship now. I don't think Alex is going to be in contention with her 5 reputation. I just don't think that's enough. Though she does have a fair number of guests. 11 cards in hand. I don't know. That's 7 and 6. That's 13 points worth of reputation that she's not picking up. That's an awful lot. Final courtship. Prestige. Alex gets the final courtship, gets 5 points plus 8 points from Charles Fairchild. I should take back what I say. Huh. That was 13 points right there. That kind of makes up for the loss of the reputation. Larry, what are you discarding here? I guess the English Garden. Alex never got the stateroom. And Catherine never got the billiards room. Boy, that would have been nice, 17 points. But she fulfilled this, she fulfilled this, and this. Oh, I don't know. Catherine's going to be the one to beat. I think Larry suffered too much with all of his monuments. Final score? Catherine wins with a score of 157. 143 for Larry, 138 for Alex. I think it was Catherine's objective cards. Let's see. Larry had 19 points of objectives. Catherine had 30 points of objectives. They both were at reputation 7. Larry only had 16 gentry cards. That's the fault. That's his own fault for taking all those monuments. He had no tiles. He actually did okay with improvement tiles thanks to the monuments. He pretty much was 2 points over Catherine there, but he only had 16 points from gentry cards, and Catherine had double that, 29 points. Easy win for Catherine, 157 to 143 to 138. Alex, considering that she only had 5 reputation, that winning that last courtship did make the difference for her. She came in last with VP cards. She came in last with objectives, I think. No, she had 19 points in her objectives as well. So she had the same as Larry. But honestly, even if Catherine didn't have the 30 points in objectives and let's say she had 19 instead, like everybody else, she'd be down 11 points. She'd be at 146. She still would have pulled it out. There you go. I hope you enjoyed that base game playthrough of Obsession. Please like the video if you would and subscribe to my channel. And thanks for watching, everybody. Bye-bye.